Here we are with quality number 5. We're going through this series of the qualities of a great leader. If we're talking about being a great leader, the fifth quality, the fifth law that you need to know about is the law of addition. Because let me tell you about what this means. The law of addition focuses on advancing other people, not yourself. Leadership is an act of service to other people, and true leaders focus on creating value for other people. So the best place to serve is where we can add the most value for other people. Leaders add value to others by valuing other people and relating to what other people value. So true leaders ask, how can I serve? Because they're focused on service is not so much about what's in it for me. Now, let me tell you a problem that I see happening with people like us, entrepreneurs, people who have a dream, people who want to change people's lives. This is something I see. I see a lot of the good where people are trying to add value and they're saying, hey, let me add value wherever I can. But I also see situations where people who are training and leading, they kind of act like you have to come to me. If you're following me, if I'm the one who's teaching you, if I'm the one who's training you, don't listen to anyone else. There's no one else out there who you should listen to. Let me tell you what I do with the people that I work with, my partners, people on my team. This is what I do. I tell them, you know what, wherever you can learn the stuff that is going to reach you, because some people are going to connect with the way that I teach better than they connect with someone else. And some people are going to connect with someone else better. So I don't care if I'm mentoring someone, coaching someone, and they find something else that is super helpful for them. Great. It makes me so excited. But sometimes I'll hear people talk like, well, you know what? You're not my leader. You're not the one. You're not my mentor. You're not my coach. Well, for heaven's sake, there are things that you do way better than I do. There are going to be some things that you're amazing at that I'm not that great at. I don't shine in that area. And for heaven's sake, please add your value and help the people I'm working with, help my team, help them get better. A true leader just wants to add value and they don't care where you get the value from. They're excited for you to get whatever you need. So don't be one of those people that acts like, well, you know what? You're my people. You're my team. So don't go check out anyone else. Well, that person's competing with me or they're having an event and they are training on, similar thing. Well, for heaven's sake, anything that helps you do better is amazing. Do you think that when I started my business that has become a billion-dollar enterprise, do you think that I only learned from one person? I found someone I liked and thought, well, now that I found this person, I'm not learning from anyone else. For heaven's sake, no. And you can tell I get passionate because when I see it, it makes me so like it gets to my core, because who does that hurt? It hurts you. It hurts the person who's trying to succeed. I already know that I'm going to listen to a lot of people. I already know that I'm going to gain wisdom from a lot of the people who came before me, or a lot of people who are my colleagues who have figured something out that I haven't yet figured out. I'm going to learn from everyone I possibly can. I'm going to listen to any training that might help me. And guess what happens? When I listen to a training on a certain topic, and it's a topic that I'm thinking, wow, really need to work on this, or I can up level my skill in that area. Guess what I do? Now I go find anyone I can find who's teaching on that topic so that I can get a well-rounded view of all of it. And then some things I learn, I'll think, wow, that's powerful. That's exactly what I need. And some of it, I'm thinking, whoa, that's way above my head. I'm not ready for that yet. And some of it, I'm going, I don't think that's true. I don't believe what you're teaching. And I don't, I love this part about what you're teaching. I don't love that. Or just remember, just worry about adding value and invite the people that you work with to find value anywhere they go. You know what? I have a mantra now. I will never be without a coach. Never. Because coaches help me do what I'm trying to do so much faster. You guys are obviously watching this because you are looking for something that's going to help you up level. It's going to help you get better. And you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. Should you only listen to Teresa Harding? No, I keep saying for heaven's sake, no. Find all the value you can. There are so many people who have been successful who can help help guide you through the process of where you need to go to find the success you're looking for, to be able to fulfill your dream, to be able to serve the people that you were put here to serve. So let's talk about this. I want to talk about when you are asking, how can I serve? You're focused on them and not so much about what's in it for you. So I'm going to go through 12 quick ways to build leaders in your organization. This is how you add value and help them succeed, because that's what a leader does. Number one, you pay attention to individuals. If you ever find yourself feeling like, you know what, no, I'm too busy to do the one, I only will do groups. You need to look at your philosophy. You need to look at what your values are, because sometimes, obviously, I do so many things in group settings, but I never let myself stop making time for the one. In fact, I'm working with a couple of people right now who are not benefiting me in any way. And I do that all the time. Sometimes because my heart is awesome. Sometimes when my heart is not as awesome, it's because I want to make sure I don't let myself get where my heart goes where I don't want it to go. So that's what you need to be looking at. So pay attention to individuals. Number two, don't micromanage. Let them fly. And sometimes it's a little bit, if they're a little bird in the nest, you don't push them out of the nest and say, fly. Well, unless it's the time for that, but you're helping them enough, but letting them do enough on their own. Are you micromanaging? Look at that. Number three, lead from the front. Don't be telling them things that they need to be doing that you're not doing. If you're telling them to do it, you need to be doing it too. Number four, give them ownership over a project from start to finish. You micromanagers out there, and I know you're out there, let them have the project from start to finish. If you're training someone, if you're coaching someone, if you're mentoring someone, whatever, or if you have employees, let them have some leeway to be able to succeed and, yes, sometimes fail a little bit. Now, don't let them fail so much that it's disheartening and you're going to be there to help them, but you are not there to do it for them. And I have worked with a lot of people who that is a serious problem for them. They're successful and they're doing amazing until they hit this peak and they're going, I don't know what's going on, because this is what I've been doing all along. I start getting into their organization and I look at it, and some of these are people who are like 6-7 figure earners. And you want to know what? They can't let go. They're so worried about letting go of control that they're the ones in charge of everything. And honestly, they start losing people who don't want to learn from them anymore, because these people don't feel like they ever get to fly. So make sure you're not doing that. And remember, by the time we're done with all of the 21, you are going to have 3 small things that you're going to work with, that you're going to be working on, not of the 21 laws, but of the sub skills in the 21 laws. And some of them you'll start to notice will overlap each other. So some of them you might say, you know what, I'm not going to micromanage, or I'm going to lead from the front. And that's something that will kind of be a skill that you'll be increasing in several of the laws at the same time. So some of these definitely overlap a little bit, but they're all definitely very different, specific qualities that leaders have who are successful. Number 5, I want you to teach them a concrete system. Teach them a system, something they can do. I can't tell you how many times I come across people who I am training and they have a sort of system, or they have a system and it's brought them a little bit of success, but not a whole lot. And they don't want their people looking at anyone else's system, because honestly, that's an attitude of scarcity. You're afraid that you're not going to have enough, that they're going to leave you. I promise you, the people who need the value you add will find you. And they're the ones who are going to want to hear what you have to say. Number 6, regular recognition. This is one that I need to work on. I think it all the time, but I'll tell you what, I don't need recognition. That's not one of the things that I need. I'm too busy like going after what I want. Like in the Strengths Finders test, my top one is achiever. My top 5 are like achiever, focus, competition. I mean, strategic. It's like, blah. I don't need someone telling me, hey, you're doing a good job. I love it and I appreciate it. And there are moments when I'm down or having a hard time when somebody lets me know that. And I'm like, you know what? In fact, you guys lift me. You lift me. There are times when I'm having a hard time and it's weird. All of a sudden we'll get something from some of you guys, and I'll get comments or something that say, you know what, I just want to thank you for what you're doing. And it puts me in tears. I'm like, oh, what I'm doing really matters, you know? So just because I don't need it all the time doesn't mean it isn't wonderful sometimes, but everybody is different. And so recognition is really powerful. And most people need more recognition. And so I'll tell someone how amazing they are, but then it's a long time before I say it again. So guess what I did? When I could, I kept trying to get better at it. But when I could, I hired people who helped me make sure we take care of recognition. They help me make sure that by a certain deadline, I let them know what gifts I want to be sending to certain people that I work with, certain partners that I have. That's what we do. So I found a way to make it work for me, and I'm still working on getting better. Number 7, include your people on internal meetings or internal strategies. So whoever it is you're working with, I don't care if it's a one-on-one, include them in strategizing. What's the plan going to be? But remember, you're the leader. You've got to have a system, a plan, at least an overarching idea or plan. And when you bring them in, you're going, hey, what does this look like? Is this going to work? You brainstorm, and no idea is a bad idea. No idea is bad. But by the end, some of those ideas you'll include, some of them you won't. So you don't need to point out when one is a bad idea for every single thing that they say. You don't need to say it. By the time you're done, some of those will be eliminated and some of those will be included. Now, this is interesting. Listen to what the next one is. When you include them in the strategy session, then guess what the next thing is? You need to make sure that you use some of their ideas, even if you don't think they're as good as your own. Because guess what you're doing? You're creating leaders. Being a leader isn't just lead and everyone needs to follow me. Being a leader means you help empower them. And that's one of the ways you do that. Okay. So number 8, increase responsibility over time. So let them have a little more responsibility, a little more responsibility. You don't just dump it on them. So you got to find out what's best for them. That's why we do strategy sessions with our people. That's why we have one-on-ones. That's why we get to the core of what their why is because we need to know exactly what it is that they want, what they need. Number 9, let them know you see their potential. Enough said. 10, establish micro teams. Now, once you are teaching enough people, now you can't just keep being the one. Now you start establishing little clusters or groups that you're edifying them, helping them be the leader that who gets to lead their people. And that's how you move it to the next level. Next, you need to, this is number 11, hold one-on-ones to see what's working and where they need help. How are you going to know if they need help if you don't really even know what's going on? Number 12, push people to grow. Now, so for some of you, this is hard. Some of you, it's easy to push them out of the nest. For some of you, you don't want to do it. And sometimes it's because you are a control freak. And sometimes it's because you are so caring and tender. I don't care what the reason is. The result is the same. It's enabling and you are not adding value. So we need to start empowering people. That is quality number 5. And it's powerful. So look through those 12 things. See if one of those is one that you want to add to the things that you're going to be working on. You got this, and you can.